The Boys Season 5. Oh boy, am I feeling disappointed. The Boys is my favorite TV show of all time. It takes the superhero genre and flips it on its head. What if these superheroes weren't so heroic? What if they were evil? The Boys nailed this type of story with its debut season. The dialogue was funny and unique, the acting was straight up amazing, the story was great, and the characters were fantastic. It was safe to say that the Boys had made a name for themselves immediately. Season 2 was an amazing follow-up and hit all the same points. Season 3, the best one, did all the same great things and elevated them even further. Season 4 was a bit of drop in quality when it comes to writing, but I still loved it. It still felt like The Boys and was very good in everything except the humor. The humor felt a little bit forced sometimes. But then, Season 5 released. Warning, this will contain major spoilers for Season 5, and probably the other season as well. If you have not watched The Boys and want to watch it, leave immediately. The Boys Season 5 starts off strong with Episode 1. Soldier Boy wakes up, A-Train has now fully betrayed the Seven and is now being hunted by Homelander and the Deep. The Boys are split up across the world, with Annie working with A-Train to try to take down the Seven, while Kimiko lives her life to the fullest. Huey, and Frenchie are trapped in a Homelander freedom camp. Butcher starts gathering Kimiko and Annie to try and free the rest of the Boys. Annie gets help from A-Train and they go to free them. A lot of other chaos happens and Homelander eventually arrives at the camp. Homelander overpowers the Boys until A-Train arrives. Homelander starts chasing A-Train. While running away from Homelander, A-Train almost smashes into another girl. But this time he was able to launch himself off course. This sends him flying off the road, allowing Homelander to catch him. A-Train starts calling Homelander pathetic and says he doesn't understand why he was scared of him all this time. Homelander, like always, gets pissed and snaps A-Train's neck, killing him instantly. All of this happened in the very first episode, and it's safe to say I was hooked immediately. Episode 2 is also great. Butcher reveals that he has been working on the virus and it might actually work now. Homelander gets notified about the virus and sends Soldier Boy to get them, but also possibly to test if Soldier Boy could survive the virus. The Boys decide that they have to test the virus on another hero who's close to Homelander's power level to see if it works. They decide to go to the house of the amateur superhero team, Teenage Kicks. When they get there, they are confronted by Soldier Boy. After a short fight between Soldier Boy and Butcher, they manage to trick him into a room and release the virus. Soldier Boy and the other side characters die, and the Boys seems like they finally have a chance to defeat Homelander. But at the very end, we see Soldier Boy is a big fan of The Undertaker as he rises up from the grave yet again. Episode 3 starts off by explaining that Soldier Boy survived because he has the V1, which is the first iteration of Compound V. This is also the reason why both him and Stormfront haven't aged at all. This sets Homelander on his new quest, which is getting the V1. This is what most of Season 5 will be focusing on. We meet up with Ryan this episode and find out that he's been hiding. More stuff happens in between, but it's not really that important. The only important things is that the Deep betrays Black Noir to get some extra credit for Homelander. Then, at the very end of the episode, Ryan confronts Homelander, and they fight. This might honestly be my favorite scene in the show, like, ever. It reminds me a lot of Mark vs. Nolan in... And anything that reminds me of is good. Ryan gets destroyed. What a close to death before Homelander flies away. The episode ends with Butcher finding Ryan almost dead on the ground. Episode 4. Not a lot of important stuff happens this episode, but I still liked it a lot. For the sake of time and my writing skills, I'm going to skip this and only mention the important parts. The boys go to an abandoned lab that Stan Edgar told them might have the V1. Homelander and Soldier Boy are going there as well to do the same. Neither the boys or Homelander find it there, but they do figure out that Bombsight might be the one to have it. Bombsight is a hero that used to be on Soldier Boy's old team, and we also get one of the best music scenes in the show.
Trumpet. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need.
Episode 5 follows a few different characters and their one-shots. We start by following Firecracker, who was a new character introduced in Season 4. Throughout this season, Homelander gets a god complex and believes he is the second coming of God. Because of this, he wants Firecracker and Oh Father, a new character this season, to make his religion the official religion of the United States of America. Firecracker is conflicted about this because she's Christian. Also, the church she used to go to is now being either destroyed or remade, I don't exactly remember. After her story, we follow Black Noir 2 and his story. Black Noir 2 is trying to become a stage actor, while his friendship with the Deep is slowly falling apart over the season. After another conflict between him and the Deep gets pissed and kills Black Noir's stage director, who was also his close friend. We then follow Terrier, who is Butcher's dog, and this was interesting to say the least.
Good boy, good boy. You wanna fuck me? You wanna fuck me like a good boy?
We then follow Soldier Boy and Homelander as they search for ways to locate Bombsight. They decide to go to Mr. Marathon, who was a previous member of the Seven. After a few altercations,
No! What'd you do to me, man? Seth! Fuck! Hey!
They get confirmation that Bombsight does, in fact, have the V1. Then we follow Firecracker again. Homelander confronts Firecracker about her inability to believe, and she tries to explain herself before... This was quite the shock. Now, this is where the main story kicks in again. Episode 6 starts off with the Deep being forced to advertise for an oil line or something that's being put at the bottom of the ocean. The boys seek help from the Legend, who was a character in Season 3, to help them find Golden Geisha, who is an old retired soup who has a special connection to Bombsight. The boys manage to kidnap her and take her to some abandoned building. The Legend refuses to help them anymore and he leaves. Sister Sage is revealed to have betrayed the Seven and helps the boys. The oil line that the Deep helped advertise was cut and spilled oil everywhere. The ocean blames the Deep for this. This will be important later. We learn later that it was Noir taking revenge on the Deep. The Deep proceeds to fucking kill him. Bit of a shock, but the Peak is the better character of the two, so I don't mind. Homelander finds the Legend and finds out where the boys are. Meanwhile, Bombsight shows up at the place where they are keeping Geisha hostage and starts attacking the boys. Soldier Boy shows up and starts fighting Bombsight. They fly out of the building and start to talk. Bombsight talks about how he just wants to live with Golden Geisha. Soldier Boy offered to take away Bombsight's powers in return for the V1. Bombsight agrees, and Soldier Boy strips him of his powers. We then hear a sonic boom as Homelander shows up, and Bombsight proves to be the only smart character and runs away. Soldier Boy gives Homelander the V1 and he injects it. We then get yet another one of the best scenes in all of the boys, as Homelander shoots his laser eyes high up into the sky in the middle of the night, and the episode ends with Butcher saying, "Run." Moving on to episode 7, and man, this is not where it should have gone after episode 6. Literally, 2 things happened this episode that are even worth mentioning. Close to the middle of the episode, after Homelander injects the V1 and is now supposed to be even more powerful than before, Instead of actually doing anything about it, he plans to build a theme park. Soldier Boy decides he doesn't want to help Homelander anymore and he decides to leave. Homelander doesn't want to allow him to leave, so he chokes him, making him pass out, and Soldier Boy ends up right back where he started, which means in terms of how much Soldier Boy moved, he moved exactly 0 fucking meters, because he started the season being unfrozen and ended the season being frozen again. Hey, I can't wait for VOD Rising, I guess. Then, at the very end of the episode, Homelander goes to the hideout of the boys and blah blah blah, Frenchie dies. This would have been one of the most soul-crushing things in the entire show, yet it ended up just feeling rushed. It was pushed to the last 3 minutes of the episode. Frenchie leads Homelander into a radioactive room and says, oui, I bet you have never danced once in your entire life. And then he fucking dies. No build-up. One of the best characters gets one of the worst deaths. At least his final line was actually pretty cool, because he said earlier in the season that dancing is a way to show that you're free. So when Frenchie says, I bet you have never danced once in your entire life, it means he's saying Homelander has never been free. Oh, and also they are trying to give Kimiko the same powers as Soldier Boy by exposing her to major amounts of radiation. Just a little sideline. A positive to this episode is that the acting when Kimiko holds Frenchie while he dies is very good. We also get the singular best piece of original music from The Boys. Raise Him Up.
No invisible man in the sky, 'cause he's right in front of your eyes. Raise him up, raise him high.
Sung by the best new character this season, Oh Father. Too bad he had one of the worst ends to a character I've ever seen. And then, the final episode. This is the last episode of The Boys ever. There will never, ever, ever be another episode. And it's better than episode 7. The episode starts with Frenchie's funeral, and this was really bad. Instead of playing the moment off as, sad, like any funeral should be, they make so many jokes about assholes you'd think a 4-year-old wrote it. Is it funny? No, not really. Does it fit the scene? Fuck no! They could have actually made me feel something with this scene, but it ended up as a worse funeral scene than the Rex funeral. And that's really fucking hard to do. We then cut to Ryan, who is hiding in a cabin somewhere. Homelander shows up and confronts him. Ryan calls him pathetic, like all the other characters, and Homelander flies off. Sage rage baits Kimiko into blasting her with the anti-V blast, so at least Frenchie didn't die for nothing. This makes Sage stupid as shit, and she leaves for Harry Potter World in Orlando. Which honestly, I wish I could join her. Then, Homelander grabs a billionaire and flies him into space and comes back in 3 seconds. I counted. This is very important. Trust me. The boys start getting ready and infiltrate the White House. The boys get trapped in a room and are about to die before Ashley decides to switch sides and saves them. The boys find the Deep crying and Starlight grabs him and flies him to the fucking beach. Now, of course, the ocean has rejected the Deep at this point in the story, but how in the great flying fuck does she know that? In her point of view, she just flew the Deep to the place where he would be the strongest. That's so stupid. It's clear that they just wanted him to die in a cool and funny way. I'm doing air quotes. Starlight sends the Deep into the ocean and he dies via anal octopus, which is ironic because it's usually him fucking the fish. Luckily, the Deep gives us one final meme for the ages.
Once, take some responsibility for yourself.
No!
Meanwhile, the boys are being attacked by Oh Father and oh man, was this so disappointing. Oh Father is killed when he's about to scream at Huey, but luckily MM puts a metal gag in his mouth and his head just explodes. And yeah, they did tease this earlier in the episode, but really? he dies just like that. No build up, nothing, just, oh, I'm gonna scream up. Like that. Also, Oh Father was able to send people flying with his scream and flip tables, but he couldn't break MM's grip. Mind you, MM is a normal human. Yeah, and he's not even as strong as he used to be in the previous season. He's thin. He's just a normal guy. You know what? Sure. This show already has people flying and shooting lasers, so I get that they aren't trying to be realistic. Butcher goes to confront Homelander in the president's office. Ryan also shows up and we get a showdown. This is where the billionaire thing comes to play. You're telling me Homelander can fly up to space and down again in 3 seconds, but when his life is on the line, he can't fly away? Sure, just sure. And I know what you might say, but Frog, that scene was just a comedic gag and isn't actually how fast he is. And sure, let's go with that. But then how come when he starts flying in any other moment of the show, he is super duper fast and breaks the sound barrier immediately? But when his life is on the line, he slowly floats up? Also, in the literal first episode, he is almost as fast as A-Train. Also in the first episode, Homelander cut Kimiko in half with no struggle, but now he can't do it? What the fuck? And she isn't more powerful than before, because we still see bullets affect her. And Ryan and Butcher managed to hold Homelander still for a long enough time for Kimiko to fry his V away. But Soldier Boy, who is supposed to be as strong as him, Billy Butcher, who was at least close to as strong as him, and Huey, who were superpowered at the time in Season 3, can't do it with a weaker Homelander? That's bullshit. That's so bullshit.
God, that's lazy writing.
It's so stupid. He's supposed to be superpowered now, but he's weaker? Homelander is now a normal human, and Butcher can finally start beating the shit out of him. We get this really satisfying scene of Homelander crying and begging for his life, just for Butcher to split his skull open while all of it is being live streamed to the world. After a bit of dilly-dallying, Butcher asks Ryan if they should live together. Ryan declines and Butcher goes to see his dog. His dog died, and so Butcher realizes that he is now all alone and decides to go to the 7th Tower and spread the virus. Huey confronts him in the 7th Tower. Butcher explains his plan and Huey tries to convince him to not do it. It doesn't work, and they start to fight. Butcher wins, of course, and is about to press the trigger, releasing the virus, but stops right before he does it as he sees Lenny in Huey. Just when it seems that Butcher has a change of heart, Huey shoots him. Butcher falls to the ground while Huey apologizes. This is where we get a great last line from Butcher. "You really are spitting, Lenny." And he dies. This was actually a very good scene and I liked it a lot. We get another funeral scene and this one is way better. Still not the best, but so much better. We see how the lives of the rest of the boys go and they have it very good. They all get their happy endings. Starlight is now pregnant and she and Huey open a video electrical store. This is an okay ending, but I'm sure most of us wanted this to happen instead. The things I liked. Butcher. I think what they did with Butcher this season was great. This is probably the 3rd best we've seen from Butcher in The Boys. This is kind of a gimme since Butcher is always great. I liked how we can see that he still has some sort of feelings, even though he's a psychopath. Oh Father. Oh Father is the best new character we've got in a while, and goddamn is he good. He's literally single-handedly carried this season so hard, which is why it's sad to see the way he died. I just wish he got a little bit more build-up before he died. I knew he was going to die, but just a bit more. The Deep. This is another gimme, but I like The Deep very much this season as well. Action. The action this season was very good up until the final 2 episodes, I'd say. It felt like The Boys, It felt violent, it felt explosive, and it felt very fun. The score. The music this season was better than a lot of the others, especially in episode 1, 2, 6, and 8. We can hear that the music matches Homelander as he slowly loses his mind. The humor this season was good in pretty much all aspects except the writing. The things I didn't like. Huey. Huey this season was so fucking annoying. I mean, God. Not only was his character just annoying, but his dialogue was terrible. Everywhere he went, it was just, this place smells like 7-Eleven mouth fucked an Arby while anal sexing a McDonald's or some bullshit.
Silly! He's so silly! He's so funny and silly!
It's not funny when you just say fuck, fuckity, fuck. That's not funny. I don't mind swearing. I don't mind. I swear a lot, but wow, it's so much. I can't do it. I can't do it. Everything about Huey except for the final episode was terrible. Terrible. I never want to see. No, it was so bad. Kimiko. I don't mind Kimiko's character, but holy hell, her writing is terrible. Okay, so you're telling me that she could form normal sentences with her little sign language, but when she's actually speaking, she can't form normal sentences. That doesn't make any sense. That's not how speaking works. If you can form a sentence while writing it, and you can also speak every word in English, then you can say that fucking sentence. You don't have to be, it tastes like a fucking dirty cock or some bullshit. Stop. The writing. Yeah, the writing in general. And I don't mean writing as in story, I mean writing as in dialogue. It was not as good. Really not as good. I feel like everyone except Butcher and Homelander and Soldier Boy, everyone except like the evil ones, Butcher, Homelander, Soldier Boy, and Oh Father in the Deep, those were the only characters that felt like they were actually written. Sister Sage. Smartest person on the planet, yet the stupidest fucking thing on the planet of Earth. The entire story of, love is so complex, I don't understand it, it's the most basic shit ever. If you don't know how to write a good character that is supposed to be the smartest character on Earth, then don't make that character the smartest character on Earth. Pacing. This doesn't feel like the final season. Episode 1 felt like the final season. Episode 3 felt like the final season. Episode 2 felt like the final season as well, I guess. Episode 6 felt like the final season. And then episode 4, 5, and 7 felt like they were taking place in season 3. Episode 8, of course, it is the final episode, so a lot of shit happens that could only happen in the final, but still, it's all crammed in the very last episode. They don't have space because they just spent time on bullshit the other episodes. And hey, I loved the other episodes. I thought it was really funny, I thought it was really good, but god damn, did it not feel like season 5. The final season of The Boys did not feel like the final season of The Boys. Homelander. Homelander is my favorite character in fiction. And I know what you might say, but he's a crybaby, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I don't care. I really don't care. I like him a lot. Also, Anthony Starr, one of the best actors of all time. But I gotta admit, this season did not do him kindly. Episode 1 and 2 and 3, yes, they did him good. Episode 6, yes. But man, did he not feel like Homelander in any of the other episodes. Now, I do think it makes sense for him to be like, oh, I am God. Yes, that makes sense. But not in the way he did it. If you look at the promotional posters for this season, he's flying over a planet that is being destroyed. Yet that didn't happen. In fact, Homelander killed less people this season than he has ever done in any other season. He killed less people in this entire season combined than he did in one episode of season 4. Season 4 was the season where he killed the least amount of people, and now this? Really? The most amount of people he's killed in one scene wasn't even real. I was really expecting Scorched Earth like we were hyping up to, but no. Instead, we get Homelander, whatever the fuck that was. The ending. The ending was perfect when it comes to Butcher. I think that was very, very well done. And the Homelander thing as well was very well done. In my personal opinion, I think it would have been better and more fitting for the boys to have either Homelander win, but not like win as in he gets everything he wants, but he wins and kills Butcher, but then he goes insane, you know, he goes and kills a bunch of people and then realizes that now there's no one left who actually loves him, making him depressed, realizing that he lost either way. I think that would have been better. Or if everyone died, because then, yes, they did save the world, but it's still not a happy ending. But no, instead we get a very happy ending, which I really didn't think we were gonna get for The Boys. You know, the show that has ended in a lot of bad ways, very, very bad ways. So no happy endings in The Boys, but for some reason we get a happy ending in the final. Sure. So much of this season was expendable. I feel like they could have focused so much more on actually killing Homelander instead of focusing so much on other stuff. And sure, it was filler in air quotes while they were still moving the story forwards, just in a very bad way. When they went to Mr. Marathon, yeah, sure, it was very funny and we get to see Soldier Boy be like, oh, I don't want to kill Homelander, but still, come on, did we really need 15 minutes of that? Or 10 minutes, whatever the fuck it was? Really? No, we didn't. The entire episode 7 was basically just filler. 2 scenes that make up fucking 6 minutes are actually worth mentioning that entire episode, and everything else is bullshit that was not needed at all. Also, that episode's called The Female, the Frenchman, and the Man Called Mother's Milk, which if you didn't know, that's the chapter in the comic book where they all die. So, where was that? Overall, this season started off great, and I honestly loved it all the way up to episode 7, but those 2 episodes really ruined the show for me. I can't say this season was better than any other season of The Boys. If you want to watch a show that knows how to do a final, just watch it. Overall, I'd give this season a 7 out of 10. I mean, that's still good, but when you got the other seasons, which I'd still give like an 8 or a 9, final season is really, really disappointing. Anyway, that's about it. See ya.